Thank you very much for accepting this presentation. It was quite a surprise because I misclicked, so I wanted to put it into session 22, and then it went into 02. So apologies to everyone who might expect a specific database application. It is not on that issue. But anyways, let's take what is common ground, Indiana Jones, and the warehouse where everything is stored and never to be recovered again. And that is a typical situation in archaeology, and I will try to demonstrate that in specific instances. Now, there was one hope some years ago where, under the Dutch chairmanship of the European Union, that the situation would fundamentally change. Because open science and open data was promoted as EU policies, and we saw that as a great opportunity for archaeology to come over this situation, to expose and demonstrate what has been meticulously been recorded and collected through the years. That's the overall policy, and I will return to that later on. So my claim is that the main challenge is from our colleagues, from ourselves. Let's see what. Now, ARIADNE is a highly profiled network of different data providers, and it is thought as a portal into the archaeological resources of Europe. Now, at the current version, you can see I have here made a search for houses in Europe, and as you can see, Germany, Poland, Denmark, Holland, Norway, and is practically without any houses. So something is missing here, we can see. Now, and if you go into the further details of this portal, you can also see what does a castle do here, and so on and so on. So there are lots of funny things you discover when you go into the ARIADNE portal. Now I will ask you, has anyone here used the ARIADNE portal as an entrance for finding archaeological resources? Please lift your hand. Nobody. Yeah, so that is reflecting the situation and also the problem of making these solutions, because actually what we want to get to as archaeologists is high quality data, and there are some problems here. So what is wrong with ARIADNE, if anything? Well, in principle, it is a good project, and especially the continuation, ARIADNE Plus, is a very good initiative, but it is hopefully under-financed. And even more, it misses a framework in terms of organization, because it's there is no, let's say, European cultural heritage umbrella under which one could put it. From a data perspective, there's a problem that the data stored in or accessed in ARIADNE are non-dynamic, so the changes in the underlying data sets are not reflected in the portal. So let's now look back and see what types of data types do we have in archaeology. And apologies for my Russian colleague, you're absolutely right that you can use graph databases. But I mean, let's say SQL data and graph database doesn't exclude each other. You can, yeah, good. So agree on that. But if you're happy with that, we can distinguish between documents and between, let's say, records. Then is that okay for you? Good. Okay, so we have basically two types of data, and science data, of course, and all these reports. And the reports I will tell you about in a few hours. So I will go into that in detail. So I will leave it here, and then I will have it as a cliffhanger for you to come to the most exciting session in the afternoon on the archaeological reports. But let's go into the SQL data, which I've for many years was into, and yeah, we did a lot of modeling and blah blah blah, and so it ended up with a solution in Denmark where we got one storage for excavation data, but these data are not accessible. So they are structured and they are into place, and so, but no one can access them. So, and in the news development, we have tried to remedy this situation. I won't go into detail into that, but as you will notice here in the bottom, we have remedied the ARIADNE portal with the where, what, and when questions. So that is, I won't go into details with this database. What is typical then for Scandinavia, especially, is the standardized use of indices in excavation recording. And here we see a commercial of the last versions. Now, also that has has been now formed into a Tower of Babel, because in fact each site in indices is stored as a special instance of a certain file structure and is not searchable on the web. And the web is for instance in Norway, the huge collections of the university museums, and another one is for the in Denmark here. The newest is on the detector finds. So how did all these sites and monument records how did they come into existence? And here we can go into the 1800s, and we have lots and lots of finds and lots of data in lots and lots of structures. So all that forms Towers of Babel, which are not communicating with each other, and ARIADNE is the newest example of that. So we thought we will try to make a Nordic situation based on the affinity in the culture and in the study of it, and make all data from all Nordic countries available by FAIR principles. So there are a lot of assets here we can build on, and so we thought we would make an ARIADNE++. Now, and there are, so it turns out that we would look at the EU policies and look at the so-called European Open Science Cloud technologies, and that's where we went. So, and I cannot, given the time frame, extend on that, but in the European Open Science Cloud there are different organizations which are competing, and the biggest one is called EGI, and the second largest is called EUDAT. So of different reasons, which I won't go into here, where we're going for EUDAT services. So the service has the advantage, seen from our side, that we have a Nordic organizational umbrella around these infrastructures, and that is what I think is of a major advantage. So the technology here is called B2Find, and what B2Find can do is that it can via the exposure of metadata from the different data resources, then you can do cross searches across scattered data sets. So the principle is that you leave data in the organizations as they are, and then harvest the metadata, and then create a search portal across that. So that was the technological strategy. And there are there's one thing which is needed, and that's a thing called an OAI PMA server. It doesn't matter, but it needs a certain service. Now, that was half a year ago, and then we started our first experiments with B2Find, and we did it on listed buildings, and it was quite successful. But then we discovered that if we had databases with more than 400,000 records, then we will get problems. It simply cannot handle more than that. So this is big shit. Then what is not big shit is that Peter Jensen, my colleague, who is our nutcracker, that he has got a baby boy, 9 pounds, so that has postponed our progress a bit, but I think this is a much more positive turn in our endeavor. Yeah, thank you very much.